none of your business. At least you are better off, right? That's what I mean. So if somebody is sort of raging, ranting because of the hardship they are facing, they will be noisemaker to you. You know that. I remember one movie, and it was inside a church. And, in Nigeria, people always sort of a shout on God. If you have listened to where Nigerians who have seen Shege are praying, sometimes you'll be like, man, God damn it. Right? They are very, very, very aggressive. Father Lord, have I not served you? Have I not served you faithfully? I served you with all my life. Today I cannot even afford my house rent. I fasted, I prayed, I have been very good. I have been this, I have been that. God, by the end of this year, I want to buy a car. I am tired of working. Heavenly Father, I'm tired. I need a car. So if you're standing next to it, just be like, oh my God. So yeah, there was this movie. And this guy was, they said they should all ask God whatever they wanted. It was a prayer point. Ask God if you need a child, if you want job, if you want money, if you need a car, if you need a house, you should ask God. Right now, the spirits are here, the angels are here, they are answering people's prayers. We always tell God. And this guy was standing next to a supposed rich Nigerian big man who was also there to talk to God as well. So they depict it was depicted in a way that if you are rich, your prayers are always going to be. So this rich man was also praying. Heavenly Father, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for everything. My family, my daughter, my son, they are all doing well. My business is great, God. So while he was trying to speak to God that way, somebody be saying was, Father, I need 30,000 naira. Heavenly Father, I need 30,000 naira before tomorrow. I need 30,000 naira. I don't want to be homeless, God. I need that. He was shouting 30,000 naira. To the point that his prayer was disturbing the rich man's prayer or thanksgiving. And the rich man was like, God, you need to prove yourself to me today. Right now, I am calling on you. Prove yourself, oh. If you are God, you must prove yourself, oh. I need 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira. So the guy was like, see, guy, how much do you say you need? 30,000 naira, God. Heavenly Father. So it was like, okay, yeah, I'll give you 30,000. Can you? It's okay. I'll give you 30,000 naira. Can you? Instead of the poor man to begin to say, well, and calm down, he screamed more. Hey, Heavenly Father, thank you. You know that? It was like depicted that way. You know what is called being successful in Nigeria? When I was growing up, money wasn't the definition of being successful. I was born in 84. I wasn't too old or too young, okay? So we're the generation that is in between, okay? So the moment we crossed 90, crossed to 90, and then we crossed to 2000, you all know the story. You are the generation that they have managed to indeed lie to. They couldn't lie so much to people like us, my generation of the 80s. Money wasn't. In fact, If you cannot really explain the source of your wealth, when I was growing up, we were told to actually run away from you. Don't let that person touch you. Don't let this, you know what I mean? Like, they believe that you probably is up to something. You may be into robbery, you may be into fraud, you may be into something that is illegal. If the community couldn't tell, you know, where you had your money from. Success when we were growing up was for somebody to graduate from school, from university. Ah, it was like a great thing. Eh? The moment you enter the higher institution, university, ah, even though Nigeria wasn't good, though, but it wasn't this bad or worse. It was a thing of pride. Eh? You will see the parent of a graduating student, poor parents, they will put on their best clothes because their son or their daughter is graduating, and he or she will take them out of poverty. That was when it used to be. Then gradually and gradually and gradually, those who didn't even go to school, they started becoming more, what do you call it? Successful. And guess what is that success? They have car, they have house, and they have women. The moment you were able to buy a car, or build a house, it doesn't matter. Just build one, okay? And then what else again? You are a successful person, and it doesn't really matter much anymore. When I talk about when people add something to show for the source, the source of their success, those who didn't go to university, after their primary school, secondary school, they went for different vocational skills. They were doing graduation too, tailoring, which turned to fashion designing anyway, woodworking, carpentry, they call that furniture making now. Anyway, families will celebrate the success of that new knowledge, because on that your achievement, they believe is going to be the foundation for your success tomorrow. But Nigeria happened to many of us that a lot actually ended up on a different path than they ever thought they would be, including me, Maiyegun, who is now a podcaster. Eh? I thought I was going to be an international lawyer. Yeah, I was going to read international law. But now I am older. I know better that it is all name. There is no international law anywhere. If you look at what the world is today, anyway, you start asking people, my brother, you studied international relations. How come all of you now we study international relations cannot bring good relationship among the world today? But you say it's not your fault, Abby, because the powerful people in the world decide what will happen, Abby. What about those who studied the international law? Now that you see powerful countries breaking the same international law, how do you feel? You know, that's thing, anyway. But here I am, a public speaker or analyst or whatever you would like to call me. So many others who have this certificate of their graduation, this BSc, this BS, that, they ended up, oh dear, when Nigeria happened to them. They couldn't build any success. They are now wallowing in the pool of poverty that these criminals have created, which has now turned out to be generational. They will tell you, the Rome walking Toshi, say 6 or 10 generations cannot be poor. In Nigeria, their intention is to keep you perpetually poor, including your children, the people you served. Look around you. Some of you who are currently seeing the today's criminals, the divisive element that you see in Nigeria today, take a look at their faces and their names and tell me if your own parent didn't know them too. Now your own children are going to know them. And then your own children and children are probably going to have to serve their own children. It is deliberate. You know what I mean? So poverty, eh, it breaks someone's self-esteem. Okay? Poverty is something that should be a number one reason why when they say resist, resist, it is for your own good and it is for our own good. When we resist tyranny, resist corrupted leadership, bad leadership, and criminals in charge, because our lives are, are totally attached to this, and it is too precious. Our lives are so precious to us for you to let us leave that in the hands of the rogues who are going to exchange it for money, monetary thing. So Nigerians today will easily agree that the moment you have a car, the moment you have a house, it doesn't matter how you got them. Okay? Since nobody asked you what was the source of your poverty. You know that's popular saying. I say every time they will say, what is the source of his, what is his source of wealth? His source of wealth. When he was poor, did you ask him the source of his poverty? Listen to me very well. If you are a young person watching me right now, it is one of those criminal thoughts eh, that they have managed to coin out and plant in your brain to encourage you that do crime, do drug, do everything. Just don't get caught. And if you are caught, you won't be the first person to be caught. You get what I mean now? Eh? Do not in any way fall for that. The reason is that you see a system where those mm, would make our lives to something like a monetary gain, eh? And then we don't care if making money from it is also going to kill other people, either like physically or you know what I mean. Otherwise, the mentality of as long as I am okay, eh? It's none of my business now. If anybody know they okay, may they know they okay. Because that's exact mentality of the criminals who are running Nigeria. They have no empathy. They have no sympathy. They don't feel guilty of anything. Because, like I told people before, if you think Nigeria is not working, you are mistaken. Nigeria is working exactly how they want Nigeria to work. They want Nigeria divided, Nigerians divided, okay? And then this division, where they can then segment how they are going to control the poverty, how to manage it and maintain it. It's like managing poverty is what they will do. There is no plan of redistribution of wealth. Now, if you want to break such people, eh, who have no good intention for us, not because of what they have said. No, it is because of what they are doing or what they have done. We have seen it. Lives have been sort of, wasted by the criminals who have no intention of changing it. They don't have that intention. It is a business as usual. I mean, you have all their names everywhere today, even if I don't have to mention names. Okay? So, poverty is not a virtue. Poverty is not a thing of pride. God does not love poor people. I am saying that to you now. Even if anybody uses religion to lie to you, that it is okay. Eh? That those who are stealing from you, they will meet their karma because God will listen to the cry of the poor people. No. God doesn't listen to the cry of poor people the way you think it's going to be done. You cannot enable them. You cannot encourage them. You cannot help them normalize abnormalities and then wait for karma to do its job. Karma will not build your roads. Karma will not build your hospitals. The real karma should come from you, which they have socially conditioned to believe that there is nothing you can do. There is 10 that you can do. But the first one starts from you believing that you can do something. If you're a young person watching me from Nigeria, my message is primarily for you, but I know you are not likely going to listen. It's fine, okay? I wish you would listen. 24 years ago, hmm, I was a teenager, 16 years old boy. I was naive. I mean, if I have to describe what I was like, I would say I was a young man full of so much dreams. And these dreams were born out of the same impoverished system that these criminals have been managing for 63 years. 16-year-old boy, a teenager. Now, fast forward to today. Eh? That's 24 years after. I am now almost a 40 years old man. Now, between the age of 16 and now, I have enough experience to tell all of you who are younger than me that Nigeria have no plan for you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They will tell you to go to school, which you are possibly doing now. Abi? Now, after school, you will realize that everything that they are teaching you in that school, none of them is applicable to the real world. You are going to waste 6, 6, 4, 16 to 18 years of your life doing what I also did because I was young, naive, and the elder ones, they never sat us down to tell us the truth about Nigeria. We were not prepared. A lot of us fell along the way. There are some of my mates you will see today, and if they tell you they went to school with Maiyegun, you will be arguing because you will see what Nigeria has done to them. I'm grateful to God that there are those who are of my age who are also doing well. But when you put the ratio of those who are of my age, eh, living in Nigeria, doing very well, and those who are of my age, living in Nigeria, not doing so well, because you know what I mean, then you will understand the ratio of what I'm talking about. Okay? And it shouldn't be like that. We are all not meant to be rich. Do you understand? A society that creates equality, at least that also have a standard that our citizens will not fall below this. Because once they begin to fall below this, there will be crisis. A society that put that in place means what we are all asking for is an equal opportunity, a better standard of living, instead of conditioning us to be sort of layabout, lazy people, and all of that stuff they would love to call us, which are all conditioned, though, conditional stuff, intentionally put together by these rogues. The life you are living in Nigeria today is intentionally shaped to be like that, and it is not your fault if you didn't know this. So, 24 years from the moment I started realizing that the Nigeria that they painted this picture for me when I was growing up was a complete lie. Then I'm growing up right now, and I am actually seeing the same pattern again and again and again, which in my own lifetime, I have seen the end go many times, same way, failure with human fatalities. So if you are younger than myself, in your late 20s, in your mid 20s, or even early 20s, and you are comfortable defending these criminals, using religion, using tribe to defend them, and you are in your 20s, you have what do you call it, short time for the reality to set in. So I am saying it to you now that you have a chance of watching me, that Nigeria I have no plan for you, whether you are from the north or you are from the south, whether you are from whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. Sure, you understand me? Whether you are Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, Ijo, Ishekiri, Ijebu, there is no plan for you or your children. And no matter how cold this sounds, it is true. It is true. And you cannot endure your way out of hardship that is state sponsored or state inflicted. Do you understand? No. I'll say that again. The Nigerians that I have come to know, right from when my own mother was not just alive, she was young, a young woman. She believed that it go better. Maybe your own parent did believe that too. It go better. See, it go better, it go better, it go better. One day, it go better. We just do our. She been at the military. They will use 2 years or 4 years. Then we get another person. And then it go better. She been at just 4 years. I be 8 years. 8 years. Leave them 8 years. After that, then we will try another one. It go better. You cannot endure your way out of poverty. You cannot endure your way out of hardship. You cannot endure it. Endure your way out of horrible leadership. You would be a mogul. I mean, let's kind of think about this together. You have a place that you can do whatever you like, steal their money, rape their women, do whatever you want. All people will do is just to cry, not because of anything. You go one day wake up and say, sorry guys, I think we are now tired of stealing Nigeria money. Now we want to stop stealing. We are now tired. Is that what you are expecting? That maybe one day they will just be tired. No, they can't be tired. If you see a gold mine, a place where we say you don't need too much machinery, you don't need too much expert or technology. All you need is your digger, and the wheelbarrow and the shovel, and you can begin to dig gold. Shey, you go come carry the gold, and at some point you are going to be like, I am tired of I have so much gold now. You know what I mean? I'm done. No, let's leave the gold. I'm just gonna go away. Anybody who want the gold, yeah, go there, go there, take them. Let's be honest. Is that what you're gonna do? Nigeria is like a gold mine, a filthy gold mine. They are not going to leave it. They are not going to change their mind. They are going to remain flies. They will die inside the beer. Except you actually stop them. A lot of people believe that Nigeria is rich. Well, I said, let's come to think of this. If Nigeria is not forced together as they call us today, each country that found itself in today's contraption called Nigeria is blessed with their own abundance resources. The northern Nigeria has theirs. The middle belt part of Nigeria, the Kwara fans, they have theirs. The western Nigeria, which is the Yorubas, we have ours. The eastern Nigeria, which are the Igbos, they have theirs, the Biafrans. And then the out of the Delta, the Niger Delta, they will say, they have theirs too. But due to greed and selfishness and the monopolistic idea or tendencies of these criminals who are not really thinking in the interest of the larger society, you know what I mean? They decided to just keep it that way. It's not for use for them. 200 million people, which we all know that Nigeria's population is not even 200 million. It is fake. It is fraud. Total lie. We know how they emerge or how they arrive at 200 million. How they arrive at tomorrow they will get to 250 million or 300 million. We know all the numbers behind that. That is why they will never conduct a scientific census in Nigeria because it is political. It's political. Historically, the northern Nigeria is, they continue to say northern Nigeria is more than the southern Nigeria because the northern Nigeria of today plus the middle belt part of Nigeria, when you join the two of them together, they constitute over 74 to 75% of the entire Nigeria space, land space. The southern Nigeria is just about 30% or so of Nigeria. Do you get that? So they are now using the size of land, mostly deserts, unoccupied, places all over the place, right? So they continue to load the Nigeria census because the number of people you claim to have in your state is going to help influence how much money your state is going to collect from the general purse of Nigeria every month. Since the lazy-minded criminals who came from northern Nigeria tasted the free Brent crude oil of the people of Niger Delta, as well as the free tax money of the people of southwest and the southeast of Nigeria, and all of this free money from the southern Nigeria gave them the chance of an opportunity to decide how much of that money goes to them. Not because they are contributing anything per se into that federal. Listen, in fairness, the same thing I've been saying, in fairness, the northern Nigeria, the farmers and the rest of all these traders there, right? They contribute over 45% of the food supply to southern Nigeria. They do. And it could have been a multi-billion dollars. I'm talking about a multi-trillion sort of a naira sort of economy if there are real infrastructures there, infrastructures to to process all those things before they even ship them down to the south, which yield more profit for those who are growing them. But with the increase in terrorism, which has now become the biggest industry in northern Nigeria, draining Nigeria resources every now and then, but yet the more money they pumped into fighting terrorism in northern Nigeria, the bigger and the bolder the terrorists have sort of become. Yeah. So northern Nigeria and the criminals from that part and their lazy mind who have no interest of investing in education, investing in the real infrastructure, but for politics and the reward from it, which includes allocation and sharing. They use census, so they will never agree that Nigeria should have a scientific census whereby you have to count everyone and have all of their data, have all their biometrics, so that which means you will know the number of people living in northern Nigeria, the number of people living, and it's actually good to plan your country, but they have no plan of planning anything. So they will load it and tell you Katsina State is bigger than Lagos State. Kaduna State is, you know what I mean, is more populated than Oyo State and all those kind of ridiculous stuff because it's for sharing money, not for sharing development. So poverty is not a virtue. Now, when you have a country being governed by criminals like that, all right, you would have to tell yourself what you want. And you know these ones are not going to give that to you, right? So that's the first step. You resist. You resist the attempt of glorifying the criminals whose sworn agenda under whatever political party they push is what? Is to keep you and your generation in perpetual poverty. And then if 1, 2, 3, or 4 of you in your own household manage to escape it, just thank your God, and the tens of thousands of other families, households are drenching in the pool. Are drenched in the pool of that poverty. You are all right. But a country being governed that way has one destiny: doom. And that is why people like us believe that if the poverty in Nigeria, with the resources that those countries that are trapped inside Nigeria today are endowed with, if the northern lazy criminals indeed are interested in developing their own people, investing in them, what they need to be is responsible region is right there in northern Nigeria. But they are not interested in that. They have tasted free money. The money they don't have to be accountable for. And same thing goes to those who are from either the Biafra land or those who are from the western part of Nigeria, which is the Yoruba land. We have all it takes. And that's why some are saying, if anybody really cares about what is going to be the fate of Nigeria, and that fate is not a good one, sooner or later, it is a country destined for doom. And listen, is this not because of what we want it to be like? It is what these guys who are ruining it, it is what it is going to become by their own action. And you can save that. We all can save that, save the lives of our people, and reject the sort of the trajectory they are trying to foist on us. Yes, we can. I believe, sorry, 1 second though. Give me 1 sec. As I was saying, a country where you know that the trajectory of where this is going to end, no amount of prayers, all right, can change that when the people that are in charge are still doing exactly what they were doing that brought Nigeria to this state, right? They are still doing the same thing. It is pure waste of prayer. It is not to make you feel like prayer doesn't work. The reason why prayers don't work in this case in Nigeria, and it will never work, is because those who brought Nigeria to this stage, yeah, they are still doing this, even worse. So if you are praying, it is either you are wasting your prayer or you are not really directing the prayer to where it should be. And if you should direct your prayers about Nigeria, truthfully, you will discover that there will be this Holy Spirit, a truthful spirit, that is also going to begin to speak through your mouth that they should break up Nigeria. Yeah. Because if you begin to pray and you are using these criminals and all of their activities as your prayer point for Nigeria, there is no way that before you conclude that prayer, you will not ask God, God, this is too much. Please break up this country. Give us the courage. Give us the strength. Give us the number. Give us all it takes. We need to encourage the peaceful breakup of this country so that we can break the chain that these rogues have been using to hold everyone around. I mean, try it. Try it. Don't pray for Nigeria to be great. It's a waste of prayer because Nigeria won't be great when you have cancers and canker worms eating this much mercilessly. No mercy. Nama is not going to fall from heaven. I hope you remember that. No, it's not going to fall from heaven. You are mocking God. You are blaspheming God. Because listen, for those who are very prayerful, you've done everything. You've prayed, prayed and prayed and prayed. Haven't you been asking yourself, why have your prayers not been answered? Does that mean that God is not listening to you? Eh? Does that mean that God doesn't answer your prayer? No. You are not listening to God. Yeah, you are not. If you are an honest, prayerful person, and suddenly you started praying for Nigeria, and you are praying for Nigeria, and you are picking those prayer points, you are praying for Nigeria, there is no way that same God or that same voice will not tell you that don't waste your prayer. Not like this. People have said to break up a country is not that easy. I am not saying it is easy. Those who are holding Nigeria to ransom today, they themselves are not kind of taking it easy, of course. But no matter who they are, put all of them together, they're not, themselves and their family, they are not up to 10,000 people. Now let's choose Nigeria number of 200 million people, and you have just about 10 million of them who are kind of tired. Nigeria was not one Nigeria in 1960, young man. Whatever those older people told you, and every other thing they sort of brainwashed you with when you were in school. Trust me, Nigeria was not a one country that they are presenting out to you today as. No. Even when they said they are giving Nigeria federation, a federal system of government, they are still practicing unitary system of government. The government of the few, by the few, and for the few. Unitary. So a lot of us have made different proposals that at least Let Nigerians decide if they want to actually be called Nigerians in Nigeria or not. Trash that trashy book called the 1999 Constitution, which is the foundation of all of the crimes against Nigerians today that these guys are getting away with. Nigeria 1999 decree, is that decree 4, decree 14 of Abdusalami Abubakar. That is the Constitution of Nigeria. Burn it, pack it from every library, put them in front of your office, put them in front of every building, burn them. Delete them from your files, crush them, crash them, tell your children, this is not from you. Now, when you have that chance, and in that conversation, a confederation is also ideal because, a federal system of government, ordinarily, if it is federal in nature, there will not be this much animosity. Federal system of government says you can control your resources. It is like regional system of government with smaller divisions. 2, 3 states, 4, 5 states can come together, put their resources together, build their development together. That's their choice based on their resources. That's the federal system of government. The federal system of government is not a government whereby everybody goes to Abuja, Cap and to collect allocation that they are going to immediately transfer out of Nigeria as their loot. That is not federal system of government. No. A system that turns criminals as criminals as governors, as well as the alpha and omega of your own resources in your state. Meanwhile, they are just puppets in the hands of their own puppet master, the puppeteer, whoever is at the center. That is not federal system of government. That is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Robbing Jane to pay Janet. It's all fraud. But in this case, they are even saying they are robbing Peter, robbing Paul, robbing Jane, robbing Janet. And they are using that to kind of live their lifestyle. Everybody is being robbed. Like somebody once said, APC, Egbekegbe, in the recent time, they are the Oganla, Bajue, the 419ers that are so audacious that they defrauded even the people of the terrestrial world. APC, Egbekegbe, in 2015 to 2023, ruined the lives of the same people they promised a change. The Bajue gang, then scam Nigerians, then scam Northerner, Southerner, Easterner, Christian, Muslim, Babalawo, Mamalawo. They scam witches, wizard. They scam all those, they scam everything scamable. Scam pastor, scam woli, scam afa, scam sheikh, scam sultan, scam everyone they can scam. And they still stood back to say, people are ungrateful. I remember the witches and wizards in Nigeria said they were endorsing APC, Egbekegbe, remember? Last, now everybody collects in today's Nigeria. And that's why they are now saying that even the witches are now running away from kidnappers. Because everything has turned upside down in a country led by rogues, APC, Egbekegbe, and their hirelings. You get what I mean? So we have seen it. And you should always remember that if they are giving you unitary system of government and they are calling it federal system of government, today, Nigerians hate themselves more. Nigerians are more divided. Nigerians are poorer. The crime rate in Nigeria is escalating. It is like living in a jungle. It's worse than before. People are still giving birth. They are still procreating. The criminals have no plan for anybody. So if I tell you a country being run like that has one single destination, doom. So once you get that mind to say, we need to try something new. Even if yours is not to break up Nigeria totally, let's start with confederation. There's another system of government